Just as summer fun kicks off at the lake, more cleanup help is on the way.
The Army Corps of Engineers now has fresh funding to speed up storm cleanup. When you'll start seeing the progress as your News at 5 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brad Means.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins in McDuffie County, where a murder investigation is underway. It happened last night on Bussey Avenue in Thompson. The coroner's office says Michaeline Lowe was shot and killed. So far, no information on a suspect.
Investigators looking for an assault suspect in Richmond County. He is 28-year-old Timothy Heath. He may be driving that truck you see on your screen. He's accused in an incident that happened yesterday at the intersection of Sandbar Ferry Road and Bobby Jones Expressway.
And in North Augusta, one man in jail after a standoff with police. Xavier Davidson, accused of domestic violence. It happened yesterday at the Royal Palms Apartments on West Avenue. Officers say Davidson was arguing with a woman and threatened to shoot her if the police showed up. When law enforcement did get there, he ran into one of the apartments. The SWAT team was called out, and Davidson surrendered about 15 minutes later.
Well, the Corps of Engineers getting extra help with hurricane cleanup at Clarks Hill Lake. Since September, the Corps has only been able to use the district's operation and maintenance funds to open boat ramps and access points.
But now there's federal money to clear debris on roads, trails, and parking lots.
We're going to go back to the agency, the Corps of Engineers, once we've been able to gain access to those areas, do a thorough assessment, get a general idea of the cost, then we'll return back to the Corps to request those additional funds to make those repairs.
Now, this funding does not cover repairs to restrooms, campsites, and docks, so the park's going to need more money from the Corps. They hope to get all the debris, or most of it at least, to drop-off sites by the end of the year. Pretty weather out of the lake today as we check our first look.
Pretty and hot. Here's Chief Meteorologist Jenna Petracci.
Yes, a very hot first day of summer, but believe it or not, this is actually going to be the coolest day over the next 10 days to come or so. But let's start out with a beautiful look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam over at my favorite beach, Gulf Shores, Alabama, in honor of this first day of summer. Right now, our temperatures are in the 90s, with the exception of Aiken, sitting at 89, 90 in Millen, 91 in Allendale, 91 in Evans, and check out Bamberg, all the way up to 94 degrees at this 5 o'clock hour, 92 in Waynesboro, and 89 in Washington. Our dew points are actually a decent amount lower than they have been lately, down to 64 in Augusta. So it's still muggy out there, but it's not quite as humid as it was over the past few days, putting our heat index in those low to upper 90s, so we are staying away from that 100-degree mark for now. Our satellite and radar is showing this cold front still lingering in the area. That is possibly bringing us a few showers later on, but for the most part it will be dry. You can see your evening planner showing those mostly clear skies, and we'll go down into the lower 80s by 9 p.m. Looking ahead, you can see those temperatures on the rise all the way up to 97 by Monday. I'll have a look at the next 10 days coming up. Back to you, Brad.
Jenna, thanks. And as these temps climb, you may see more snakes. Talking about copperheads, cottonmouths, rattlesnakes, rat snakes, and black snakes. They usually hide in piles of leaves or sticks, maybe in the bushes. Here's how you can tell if one is venomous.
In general, your venomous snakes look, like I said, like bodybuilders. They're thick, they just look kind of mean. They tend to be shorter. The long, skinny ones, in general, are the non-venomous snakes that we have. So you have a number of garden snakes, black snakes, those kinds of things, king snakes, which are great snakes. They eat the rattlesnakes. So a lot of those you'll see around.
If you get a snake bite, wash the area, call the poison center, and get medical help right away. Don't use ice or a tourniquet. School districts in Georgia have 6 months to come up with new policies on cell phones in classrooms.
This comes after Governor Brian Kemp signed the Distraction-Free Education Act. Here's Atlanta Bureau Chief Archit Seshadri.
Starting next year, students in kindergarten through 8th grade in Georgia public schools will have limited, if any, access to their digital devices during school hours. That includes phones, laptops, and smart tablets.
Cell phones are a large distraction in schools. Cell phones are being used
in schools in ways that are disruptive not only to the instructional time, but we have students in middle school and high school that are using the cell phones to bully other students, but also they're setting up fights.
The Georgia Association of Educators says the new law puts the onus on school districts to determine how the cell phone policy will be enacted.
Students not having access to cell phones during the school day will be a very good thing for them in eliminating that distraction during instruction.
The ban would likely be from bell to bell, meaning from the first to the last bell of the school day for those in K through 8. School systems are expected to create policies on cell phone restrictions in classrooms starting January 1st next year and have to implement those by next July.
We know that there are districts here in Georgia that have already implemented policies. Marietta City is one that has implemented these policies and expanding it to all students, and it has been universally a good thing not having cell phones available to students during the school day. We know that the cell phones are impacting our students' mental health as far as behavior issues. We know that there's cyberbullying happening with the cell phones, and we know that just the access and the distraction is impacting them during their instructional time.
Each school district would determine how parents would reach their children in an emergency, but students who need phones to monitor medical conditions or have intellectual disabilities could still use a cell phone. Reporting at the Georgia State Capitol, Archit Seshadri, Atlanta Bureau Chief.
School districts will work out the policies.
And this would impact kids in public schools and at school-sponsored events. You know, summertime is the time when area animal shelters see the highest numbers of homeless pets. The Aiken County Animal Shelter among those at full capacity. More than 500 homeless pets have arrived since the beginning of May. Well, tomorrow there's going to be a special event at the shelter with free adoptions to help find forever homes for those cats and dogs and ease the overcrowding at the shelter.
Right now we have people lining up at the gate with baskets of kittens, we have litters of puppies coming in, and so many stray dogs. We're having a lot of Great Pyrenees, a lot of Australian Shepherd mixes, cattle dogs. We're getting everything shepherds. So we have a little bit of everything, so we're hoping to get people who are considering going to breeders to get puppies to really consider coming here.
You would like a new furry friend? The free adoption event is from 11 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon tomorrow at that shelter on Wire Road. All the details at WJBF.com.
This is an important day for us at News Channel 6. It's our parent company Nextstar's Founders Day of Caring, a time to pause to help a local nonprofit. Isabella Moody has the story.
Nextstar's Founders Day of Caring is a company-wide initiative to help local nonprofits. WJBF employees partnered with the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Augusta.
It's very locally oriented where the stations decide what charities or communities or nonprofits they want to support, form their own teams, and then go do their service work. So it's a very bottoms-up approach to say thank you to our local communities.
WJBF's own Brad Means and Jenny Montgomery volunteered at the Children's Hospital of Georgia with the Ronald McDonald House Charities' new hospitality cart.
It's one thing to talk about it from a news desk, but it is another thing to be in the middle of what this great organization does.
The Community Foundation for the CSRA helped the Ronald McDonald House create the hospitality cart after Hurricane Helene. The cart provides personal care items, snacks, books, toys, and more to patients at the Children's Hospital of Georgia.
The Community Foundation is just super excited to have had the opportunity to support this initiative. It was birthed through the needs of the families in the hospital identified shortly after Hurricane Helene.
The items given to those patients were donated by the community. They were packed up at our television park studios and delivered to the Ronald McDonald House by WJBF staff.
Today has been such a fabulous example of the way in which we are able to draw upon the compassion of our community to come together and provide essential services that remove barriers and strengthen families and promote healing whenever a child needs health care.
The Ronald McDonald House currently provides the hospitality cart 3 times a week, but the hope is they can soon have it there more frequently. If you would like to volunteer, you can find that on WJBF.com.
If you want to go
beyond just doing a volunteer duty and checking a box. If you want to make a real connection, I think Ronald McDonald House would be an awesome choice.
We send our best wishes for those little patients to get well soon. People at Brandon Wild celebrating the longest day of the year today. The festivities were part of the National Fight the Darkness campaign. It's used to raise awareness about Alzheimer's care, support, and research. The residents got to do a lot of activities, including balloon volleyball that you see right here.
There are millions of people that have this disease, and people know about that they are coming into that point where it's even been diagnosed early on for them. And so it's to support them. It's not so much always about the research, but it's about the support of the family, because it's affected the family, not just the person it's affecting.
Activities are planned to keep residents moving from sunrise to sunset.
Bringing health care to those who might not have access to it. On the next edition of the Means Report, Augusta University getting set for the 20th year of the Costa Lehman Health Fair, an event that brings health professionals and med students to Edgefield County. They do screenings and checkups for farm workers, a key part of AU's mission to serve our community.
About 20 years ago, one of the professors at the College of Nursing, Dr. Joellen McDonough, came to me and said, I have a class for students and it's called Spanish for Medical Caregivers. Could we come to the farm and do some sort of health teaching, screenings, whatever for the employees so our students could practice their medical Spanish. Out of that grew the model of what today has become basically a mobile hospital unit set up on a loading dock, and everybody gets an executive wellness visit.
University President Russell Keene, our guest as well. He'll update us on a lot of important projects and programs happening on campus. Join us for the Means Report, Monday afternoon at 12:30, right here on News Channel 6.
A mayor's home breached and a congressman threatened on the road. Now investigators are saying both are part of a national trend.
There are growing fears about political violence. The story after the break.
It's the music event of summer.
And on Thursday night, thanking everyone who helped care for them and saying that it's time to, quote, return to a level of civility that allows everyone to live peacefully. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
Got the details ahead.
That's right. It's going to be a very hot week with temperatures climbing close to 100 degrees and that heat index up to around 108. I'll have your full Viper 6 forecast right after the break.
Weather headlines on WJBF News Channel 6. Brought to you by Southpaw Roofing. Roofing done right. At Lionel Smith.
It's okay not to be okay, and it's always okay to reach out.
For years, WJBF News Channel 6 and our partners have championed local families through our Children First campaign. Together, our mission has always been to strengthen our community by uplifting children and their families across the CSRA. Count on News Channel 6 as we make a difference in the lives of local children. To learn more, visit WJBF.com/childrenfirst. WJBF News Channel 6's Children First initiative is sponsored by Bridgestone and by Costello Law Firm. To get the weather, you need to see the whole picture. That's why Live Viper 6 gives you the Skyview Network. Get a live view of traffic and weather from all over the CSRA. Available online 24 hours a day at WJBF.com and the free Live Viper 6 mobile app. The WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview Network. Powered by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service. For the best and unique bit. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back. Let's start out with a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station. You can see we do have some cloud cover, but overall it is a mostly sunny and hot day for us, sitting right at the 90-degree mark. Now, the key difference today compared to the last few days is the lower humidity. So notice the feels like temperature is pretty much close to the actual temperature, and that's because dew points are in the middle 60s and our humidity is only around 40%. We have a light breeze coming in out of the northeast Northeast. And around the CSRA, you can see upper 80s through lower 90s. Bamberg and Sylvania are hottest spots at 92. But we only have 87 now in Washington and Sparta. Not too bad for this time of the year. Our satellite and radar just showing a few clouds passing by. And as we zoom out, you can see a cold front just to our south. So this could possibly bring us a couple isolated showers tonight. But for the most part, that high pressure is bringing in the dry air that we can see here on our water vapor imagery. So all of that orange here indicating the lower dew points and the lower chances of rain as we go into the weekend. So notice our farmers forecast still showing no drought, which is always great news. For the month of June, we've picked up over 3 inches of rain so far, which is typical so far for this time of the month. So for tomorrow, we have the 52nd Ridge Peach Festival, and we'll be starting out warm in the upper 70s, and then we'll climb into the low to mid 90s as the afternoon goes on. Notice the triple digits here. That's the heat index, so it will be feeling like around 100 Saturday and Sunday, and then that climbs up to around 105, maybe even up to around 108 as we get into the middle of next week. And even the high temperatures climbing close to that triple digit mark. I am expecting us to get to 98 to 99 degrees early next week, and I wouldn't even rule out the possibility of us reaching 100. On average, that first 100-degree day of the year comes on June 28th, so if it did happen next week, we'd be a little bit ahead of schedule. So this is a heat wave, and it doesn't look like we'll have much relief anytime soon. So even when we cool down just a tad by the end of next week, all the way through June 30th, we're still expected at least slightly above average temperatures, a lot of mid-90s over the next several days ahead. So here's our future cast tonight at 7 p.m. That front still lingers in the area, maybe a shower or two, but there's the high pressure keeping us mostly dry as we head into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday keeping just that slight chance of rain, but overall a great weekend for outdoor plans. Just stay hydrated if you're out and about. We'll definitely be feeling pretty hot and humid. Our lows tonight will be around 70 degrees, and our high temperatures tomorrow will be in the low to middle 90s. That 10-day forecast is showing the temperatures are rising as we go into the next week. You can see 96 on Monday, 98 on Tuesday, and 99 on Wednesday. That will be our hottest day. And then as we go into the end of the week, we'll see some slight chances of rain move back in, with temperatures still staying pretty hot. So I'm not seeing any more highs in the 80s anytime soon.
Sure. I don't see that either, Jenna. Thanks. News Channel 6 so excited to host a Touch a Truck event next week. It's part of our Your Hometown tour stop in McDuffie County for this year's Freedom Blast.
You'll see all types of vehicles, including police cars, fire trucks, and tractors across the street from the McDuffie County Courthouse on Railroad Street. The goal is to let people explore the trucks and meet first responders.
Freedom Blast also has a kids zone and a fireworks show, so join us for Your Hometown Freedom Blast live at 4, 5, and 6 from the event next Friday at the Thompson Depot.
The world's best restaurant has been crowded.
Apparently so. We now know which one that people consider the #1 restaurant on earth, where you can find it next.
When it matters most, George St. Gentry Lawyers delivers results.
I was rear-ended by a drunk driver. They got me $1.5 million. Go with the name you know and trust.
Get your St. Law Firm on the line for 999.
At Harvard Market, breaded chicken and Chopra 100% Angus beef burgers.
Your most watched local news is getting a big plus.
WJBF 6 Plus is built for the way you watch.
The CSRA's trusted news source, now on demand.
Live Viper 6 weather when it matters most.
Stream it anytime, anywhere.
Plus, it's totally free. No subscription required.
WJBF 6 Plus is ready when you are. Download it free today on your favorite streaming device. Is rainy weather putting a damper on your day? Enter to win your very own live Viper 6 umbrella today. Visit WJBF.com and click on Contests and fill out the entry form for your chance to win.
Getting your hands on a live Viper 6 umbrella has never been easier.
That's right. Lucky winners will be announced weekdays on News Channel 6 at 6.
Who knows? It could be you.
Sponsored by Busby's Heating and Air. When quality matters, call Busby's. Trusted since 1945. George St. Gentry Lawyers deliver.
The list is out for the best restaurants in the world in 2025. If you want to try out the #1 restaurant on the globe, you will have to fly to Peru. That's where you'll find Mido. The restaurant is located in the capital of Lima.
Looks good. Mido blends Japanese techniques with Peruvian ingredients, an achievement years in the making. The highest ranked U.S. restaurant was Atomics in New York City. And that does it for us for this half hour, but there's a lot more coverage you can count on at 5:30.
Missiles in the air, protests in the streets, and high-stakes diplomacy behind closed doors. The urgent talks now underway to prevent all-out war between Iran and Israel. Just ahead.
Right now, pet dander, skin cell. Join News Channel 6 as we honor the CSRA's best in local high school sports, including this year's Athlete of the Year, the All-CSRA Awards, Tuesday, July 1st at 7 on News Channel 6. The Live 5 for 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5:30.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us on News Channel 6 at 5:30. Topping today's headlines, the cleanup at Clark's Hill is finally getting a boost. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers just secured new federal funding to speed up storm recovery, clearing roads, trails, and parking lots still littered with debris. But repairs to campsites and docks are still on hold, having some ask, when will more relief be on the way? A major classroom crackdown is coming to Georgia schools. A new law will force all districts to limit cell phone use for students in kindergarten through 8th grade. From the first bell to the last, the goal is for less screen time, fewer distractions, and better mental health. Giving back in a big way. WJBF News Channel 6 employees rolled up our sleeves today for Nexstar's Founders Day of Caring. From packing care bags to spreading comfort at the Children's Hospital of Georgia, it was all about helping local families through the Ronald McDonald House. Coverage you can count on continues now with high-stake talks in Europe today. Let's look at our forecast. Meteorologist Jennifer Trotty and my cousin in New York City was on Facebook today complaining about the temperatures up there, saying how it's going to get hot. I was like, hey, welcome to our world. Welcome to our world. We're all hot together.
Yeah, it's normal down here.
Yeah.
But I will say next week it's even going to be a little hotter than what we're used to. At least for the month of June, we could easily make it to at least 98 degrees next week. I wouldn't even rule out the possibility of 100. But it is the first day of summer, so hey, I mean, we are seeing the heat just in time for the new season. So you can see right now on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam, it's a beautiful day over at Daytona Beach in Florida. A lot of people kicking off the first day of summer, right? With temperatures in the CSRA in the upper 80s through lower 90s. Augusta at 90, 88 in Aiken, 90 in Saluda, and 89 in Sparta. You can see our dew points actually aren't too bad today. We do have some spots around the 70-degree mark. Other places like Augusta down to 64. That's making it feel at least a little bit more tolerable outside, with the heat index pretty much matching our actual temperature. So at least we're staying away from that 100-degree mark for now. Our satellite radar showing this cold front lingering, but overall that front has brought in a lot of drier air, so the chance of us seeing some showers tonight is very low. So overall for your evening planner, we're going to keep it mostly sunny, and we'll drop down to 83 by the 9 o'clock hour. Looking ahead, it will be a great weekend for outdoor plans. You just need to stay cool and try to stay in the shade as much as possible, as temperatures will be heating up into the middle 90s, and it only gets hotter next week. I'll have a look at next week's forecast coming up, and back to you, Dee.
All right, thanks so much. We'll see you in a few minutes. Legal questions are swirling over the future of TikTok after President Donald Trump signed of America's team, but say they've been underpaid for years. Why the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are now celebrating a raise that's changing lives. Next.
And this weather is getting pretty hot as we go into next week especially. We will be tracking a heat wave with the temperatures getting close to 100 and the heat index well over 100. I'll have that full Viper 6 forecast after what's trending.
Tonight, President...
For everyone.
Book direct flights to Washington, D.C. at flyags.com.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for a look at what's trending. We talked about them before, but
The virally popular collectible named Labubu just set new auction records. 14 exclusive customizable plush toys just went up for sale on the online marketplace Jupiter. The entire lot consisting of 14 Labubu figures, customized Pop Mark X How to Work Green Edition plush toys sold for $337,500, which is a new record for Labubu toys. All proceeds from the auction will go toward the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Wow, that's a lot of money for a little tiny little thing, but hey, it's going for a great cause. Well, Chris Brown appeared in a London court. New. That to me is definitely hard work. But everybody works hard, so can't argue there. But good for them, good for them. Well, let's see if this weather is going to be good for us. Summer is finally here. It was already showing up, but it is here, and it's like, hey, like it or not, I'm going to be around for a while, and I'm going to bring the heat. So let's see how hot it will get this weekend. Jenna has your full forecast next.
Jesse Palmer on News Channel 6. The WJBF Live 5/6 Skyview Network is sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5/6.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at another beach. This is our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam over at Edisto in South Carolina. A few people enjoying that first day of summer, and it's definitely feeling like it today with a high of around 90 in the CSRA. The good news, though, for anyone who doesn't like the humidity is that it's much lower today. So the actual temperature is pretty much lining up with our feels like temperature, and that's because dew points have bumped back down into the middle 60s and humidity is at 42%. Around the CSRA, we have 90 here in McCormick, Saluda, and Edgefield. Aiken and Barnwell, you're actually in the upper 80s. 92 in Bamberg and Sylvania. Those are our hottest spots today, and same thing in Evans. Now, as for our satellite and radar, we're not seeing a single drop of rain, and that's because of this drier air that's moved in behind the cold front. Now, because this cold front is still lingering in the area, we could see a few pop-up showers later on tonight, but you can see most of that rain is focused along the coastline here and out towards the Atlantic. So we have all this dry air that's moved into the CSRA. You can see it here on our water vapor imagery. But as we go into our weekend, we will still have the possibility of a few showers and storms popping up because of that high pressure bringing some moisture on the eastern side of it. So for tomorrow's forecast, not putting that chance of rain in there, but just don't be alarmed if you run into a brief shower. Overall, it will be a good, nice, sunny day with temperatures climbing into the low to mid 90s. And you can see on our featurecast starting tonight at 7, maybe a little bit of green popping up, but you can see not much going on, just some passing clouds. Then as we go into our Saturday, same story, a few afternoon showers possible with winds coming in from the southeast, and then it's just a repeat again for Sunday. So our temperatures will be pretty consistent, and so will those chances of rain, just at around 10%. Now next week, we are tracking a heat wave, upper 90s for highs, and that's because we will have this dome of high pressure across a big portion of the country. So it's not just us here in the south that'll be dealing with it. And you can see over the next 5 days, high temperatures are climbing all the way up to 99 on Wednesday, and that feels like temperature could be getting up to around 107, maybe even 108. And if we do get that hot, then we will start to see some heat advisories issued. And even after that heat wave, it's not going to cool down much. We're still expecting above average temperatures to finish off the month of June. Now you can see our low temperatures tonight will be a couple degrees above average in the lower 70s, and our high temperatures tomorrow will be also a couple degrees above average in the low to mid 90s. Now our 10-day forecast is showing just a 10% chance of a stray shower or storm Saturday and Sunday. Sunny and getting hotter on Monday, a high of 96, 98 on Tuesday, and 99 on a Wednesday. So those will be our 2 hottest days. But even all of next week, the temperatures will stay in the mid to upper 90s with just some slight chances of rain by next weekend.
It's here. All right, thanks so much. Well, the Richmond County Marshal's Office is helping the community beat the heat. The office is hosting its annual fan drive to keep residents cool heading into the summer. These fans are to help the elderly, low-income, and individuals with medical conditions and will be distributed by Augusta Dream Center. You can donate at the Marshal's Office substation on Deansbridge Road until June 23rd. Animal lovers will go to great lengths to take care of their furry friends, but in this case, it's different. That's next.
When you see this face,
Always choose the weather, but you can't choose your weather app. Go with the most accurate and most trusted. The Live 5/6 mobile app. Download it today.
man saved a possum that was in the highway. Avoiding traffic to rescue the possum he noticed was stuck on the median. He wrapped the animal in a towel and walked it back across. He gently released the possum into the field. It scurried away unharmed, and I'm sure grateful to make it across to the other side. How did he notice it? I'm like, wow, and he must have saw it and then turned around to go get it. Oh man, I know that was scary for both of them. Wow. Well, that's it for this half hour, but there's more coming up on News Channel 6 at 6. More funding is on the way for hurricane reaching up at Clarks Hill Lake. What areas they hope to use the funding for with Brad and Jenny next.
Weather headlines on WJBF News Channel 6. Brought to you by Southpaw Roofing. Roofing done right.